On December 19th, 2024, a Minecraft SMP named BlockWorks was created. I didn't create the server, but I was a pretty important member of it. The server lasted a little over a month, ending on January 23rd, 2025, which is also known as the day that I stopped playing. My main goal on the server was to get every achievement in Pocket Edition, which I ended up completing after several weeks. In the process of doing that, I spent many hours on the world building things. Many other players also joined and built structures that still stand to this day. So, with that being said, and the server being in a finished state, I decided I'd give you guys a tour of everything that we built. Starting with spawn, which unfortunately has been almost completely destroyed. To be fair, it was never anything too special to begin with, but it was never this bad. What you're currently looking at was actually my first house on the server, known as Oxternity's Hut. It also served as the farm of the spawn area. It used to look pretty good, but now it's just hideous. Up on these hills there are a few other houses that have been destroyed. This was a player named QuadFaction's house, which is just ruins now. Over here, I don't even know who built this one, or what they had in mind, but it's a very odd house. Over here, we actually have the one intact structure of Spawn, which is called the Llama Tua, which was meant to be the community hub of Spawn. The reason it's intact is because it was never used. It was such a good looking structure, but we never actually used it, because Spawn was actually abandoned. Here's another look at my farm, which looks bad now. And down here we have the Christmas tree, which was a event on the server where every player got a stocking on Christmas Eve, and we all opened them on Christmas morning and got gifts in the stockings. And the tree actually used to look a lot better. It was destroyed. We tried to rebuild it a little bit, but it didn't turn out great. And here we have the Chumbo's lovely home, which is surprisingly still intact. No one ever messed with it for whatever reason. Anyways, if you follow the river here, it'll lead you to the place where everyone really lived. My very own city. The center of the world. Welcome to New Oxland. At the entrance of the city, you are greeted by this wonderful lighthouse, which was built by yours truly. I created the design and did most of the building. Fisher Joe helped provide resources. Over here we have a sign showing the date in which New Oxland was founded, 12/20/2024. And after the lighthouse you have a little bridge that will lead you into the main part of the city. Lots of sugarcane and things on the sides here. You can see these beautiful lamps. I don't remember who built them. It wasn't me. But they're beautifully designed. And here we have the first house. So funnily enough, this place actually had two people living in it. They didn't even know that they were both living in it. It was Minecraft Dude and QuadFaction's second house. They both lived here at the same time without knowing it. And yeah, it's a very bad house, I'm sorry. Next up is another one of my builds, the community board, which I love this area. It has a map of New Oxland, as well as a job board. Lots of ideas and builds that need to be acted on. Here we have a road that was never developed. And over here we have our dock area, which was built by Panda. In my opinion, this dock is kind of ugly. I always hated it. I would have built it way differently, but it does do its job. Continuing past the dock, we have another one of Panda's builds, which is actually his shop as well as his house. It's a 2-in-1. As you can see, there's a sign out front. It is closed because an accident happened here. We're not going to go too deep into that. The bottom is the shop floor, and the top is his house area. Very simple shop, but it did its job. Here we have a little workbench, which I actually really like the idea of that. It looks really good. And out back we have a little camp type area. Pretty nice. Here we have something to do with the accident, which is his pet fox that was murdered by Fisher Joe. Rest in peace, I guess. Here we have the bakery, which was designed by Oakwood. It was never completed. Has a pretty cool design though. It's supposed to be a cupcake. Here we have the horse stables, which was really only used by Rifsy for its camel. Over here we have my farm, sheep, cows, and pigs. It was actually the first thing I built in the city. And here we have Oakwood's house, which is very pink. She was in charge of building the spawn, by the way. So, after that failed, she moved to my city and built this, which I don't think looks very good. You guys should hate on it in the comments. Moving on, we have the train station, which I designed, but Oakwood built. Its purpose was to get the achievement for a cart ride in a straight line, which I got, but it also leads to a place called Wither Island. We'll go in more depth into that later, but first, we have to get into the main attraction. Starting with the first house ever built in New Oxland, which was my original house here. It's a very simple build. Eventually it became the guest house, and people would leave lots of signs here. This is an axe that is very infamous on the server, Johnny Old Reliable Axe. Right next door we have the Sniffer Farm, which was built just to earn an achievement. Has a few sniffers inside. I'll show you the interior here. Very aesthetically pleasing. One of my favorite structures I built on the server. And on the opposite side of the house, I wanted to build a similar structure for bees. No specific purpose really, just wanted to have another farm for a newer mob. Really happy with how the interior looks on this one as well. As we move back outside, you guys will be able to see the farms, which were created pretty early on, just to grow crops. And next, we'll move into the main base. This is my house. This is the structure that I spent the most time on. It is where I lived. It is where I kept all of my loot. Everything you would do in a house, I have in this building. You can see at the top here, I have some towers with snow golems guarding. I'm not sure if they ever actually guarded anything, but they look cool. Here's my emblem, which you may have seen in some other places here. I kept it on my shield as well. This is the first floor, which is the trading area. It's pretty unfinished. As you can see, there's a lot of empty space where villagers were planned to go, but I never really did it. I kind of got all my loot and stuff maxed out pretty early, so I wasn't super motivated to finish the villager hall. This is a unfinished room as well, but the basement is pretty impressive. As you can see, I have a beacon room here, which is extremely cool looking. I'm super proud of how it turned out. It did get robbed multiple times though. But here's the real secret. Nobody has ever seen this before. This is where I kept all my treasured loot. If you're watching this and you play it on the server, you're probably going crazy right now, because this was just hidden in plain sight. But obviously it's a realm, you have to keep some stuff hidden. This is where I kept all my valuables. In this super awesome looking vault room, you can see my trims here, including silence, which was so difficult to get, as well as all my other rare items here. Armor, tools, music discs, everything you could think of is in that room. Moving back upstairs, I can get into the second floor. This floor contains storage rooms as well as my own personal room. In the middle here I have a little pool for fishing, and in the walls I have barrels to make dumping items easier. You can dump items in the barrels and then sort them into the storage rooms when you have time. I'm really happy with how these storage rooms turned out. They were super helpful, they were very organized, and they looked really good too. Next up, we have my bedroom. I have some armors in here which got stolen a few too many times, an enchantment area on the left, and a crafting area on the right. On the walls I have music discs that I like to listen to every now and then, and a great view of Oxland. Now we head back to the train station so we can check out Wither Island. Some backstory on Wither Island. It wasn't always called Wither Island. It was once just the home of a player named Rifsy. But after many Wither battles, as well as player attacks, it became known as Wither Island. There's not much on the island anymore, other than a mob spawner. But we'll see what we can find here. Starting with the mob spawner. It's pretty rough. It doesn't work super well, and it's, to be honest, an eyesore. There's a small farm beside it. I don't think anything's growing there anymore though. You can see some of the ground is destroyed. That's from the withers. And here we're going to check out his home, which is in a cave. Well, I should say it was. After a PvP incident, his home was entirely griefed. It's just a hole in the ground now. This may be the worst griefing incident on the entire server. There is nothing left of this home. And finally, the one who did the griefing. Thousands of blocks away, across many oceans, we have Fisher Joe's compound. You can see farms that are much bigger than anything we had in New Oxland, with sugarcane, wheat, carrots, potatoes, everything you would ever need. On the right here we have the villager center, which before it was abandoned, every villager inside was killed. So now it's just an empty building. Over here we have the main area, which has a furnace contraption as its centerpiece. It's not just any furnace though, it holds a secret. And if you're wondering when this world was made, this sign should tell you. If you go inside the furnace, you will find the base of Fisher Joe and Day is Funny. The interior starts with some spiral patterns on the wall. As you go into the main room, there's lots of chests for storage, as well as this map, which was taken from someone who tried to attack them. Here's a map of their base as well. There's tons of contraptions and things inside the base that I'm not sure what they do. But yeah, very cool. Alright, so that just about covers everything for the world tour. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments what your favorite build is. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.